They even call them mounds. You know, mounds is something made from dirt, but in the case of Cahokia pyramids, they used 4 different types of construction material. They used sandstone, blocks, rocks, pebbles, sand, and when they complete those pyramids, they would cover them with the squares of grass and salt that they would cut, and they turn them upside down, and they would cover all their pyramids. In order to build the biggest one, the Monk's Mound, which is just across St. Louis, they had to use the equivalent of 224,000 trucks with the material. 224,000, 50,000 pounds truck. I mean, in order to build 200 of them, they used millions of tons. This is unbelievable quantity. And guess what? Not a single word in our history books. They don't teach our kids about those pyramids. That's one of the biggest construction feats in the human history, period. Everything they tell us about them is wrong. They tell they were built by Mississippians, by Indian tribes. No way. I mean, the orientation of the pyramid, they are all oriented to the cosmic north, except for the one, the biggest one, to the magnetic north. There is a difference between magnetic and cosmic. Builders who know the difference between the two, they are not tribal organization, they are advanced civilization. So it will be more and more secrets resurfacing again.
Okay, and I think you hit on the important thing, you know, because you talk about these pyramids in the United States, and nobody's talking about it. It's not in the history books. Of course, the Bosnian pyramids aren't in the history books yet, but and you have to say why. I mean, come on, this is what can we perhaps learn from all this? But we have to also understand that this also shakes kind of the foundation of what we've all been taught, of what people have written about, of what classes have been taught about. I mean, oops, sorry, I think we were wrong about that.
It shakes foundations of the science and religion, too.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to science, I mean, they've been telling us one thing, and you go to places like Canary Islands, you can see dozens of pyramids, and they are not recognized by Spanish scientific community. You go to island of Mauritius, beautiful 7-step stone pyramids, they are saying they are just pile of rocks. You go to Bolivia, some other places, people say, no, they are not pyramids. What they are afraid of? Well, we are coming to that. First of all, the change of history. Mauritius, officially, they never had pyramids or any habitation until the 16th or 17th century. Obviously, their history is much, much older. They need to change that. But the real reason is the purpose of the pyramid. It's not just the fact that they did have advanced civilizations deep in the past. The real problem with some of the elites who try to suppress this knowledge is the purpose of the pyramid, what they were used for. The stories that Egyptian pyramids were used to bury kings or pharaohs are so funny, and unfortunately 200 of years of Egyptology has been wasted with the help of Hollywood trying
But they're still teaching that, right?
Unfortunately, yes. They're saying pharaohs of the 3rd dynasty and the 4th and 12th. I mean, not a single proof that the pharaohs were buried in the biggest and oldest Egyptian pyramids. We don't find mummies of the pharaoh Khufu or pharaoh Khephren or pharaoh Myceren or Sneferu or Djoser. We don't find hieroglyphic writings in those pyramids, no symbols, no tools, no organic materials. Actually, the pyramids are much, much older than rather primitive Egyptian society who had only copper tools and wooden sticks. In the biggest pyramids, the Great Pyramid of Egypt, the number pi, 3.14, is incorporated. And they are telling us that that number will not be invented in another 2,000 years after the pharaoh Khufu. Then the golden ratio. Then the number which shows the distance between our planet and sun. Then the distance between our planet and moon. The number 299,000, which is the speed of light, and so on and so forth. Obviously, we had very advanced civilization. But when it comes to Bosnian pyramids, thanks to our project, which is so open to any scientist from all over the world, it can be mainstream, conservative, alternative, everybody is welcome. We don't have a nation. Well, in the first 4 or 5 years, we were spending time and our effort to prove that we have a huge construction complex. And we've proven that. You know, you have geometry, you have man-made concrete, you have inner passageways, you have underground tunnels, and we don't intend to spend another 100 years proving the same thing over and over. We want to see what was the purpose, who built it. If they are over 12,000 years, who were the builders? Now, when it comes to purpose, we needed the help not of archaeologists, because they did not have knowledge, but the physicists, quantum physicists, electrical engineers, people who know energy phenomena. And guess what? In 2010 and 2011, we detected and measured 5 different so-called energy anomalies. We measured energy phenomena that cannot be made by Mother Nature, but they have to be made by machines. For example, on the top of the pyramid of the sun, we measured the energy beam coming through the very center of the pyramid going up of a 28 kilohertz frequency. This is the frequency that you don't meet in the nature. It has to be made by the machine. So the pyramid really acts as a machine. This energy beam is only 13 feet in radius. It is focused, doesn't go left or right, but through the top of the pyramid. The second phenomenon, ultrasound, that's something that we cannot hear. We hear from 20 Hz to 20 kilohertz. Everything above 20 kilohertz is called ultrasound. We don't hear, but we can measure. So on the top of the sun pyramid, there is another ultrasound beam this time. That's vibrational phenomena. That goes through the top of the pyramid. Why is ultrasound important? Because ultrasound kills viruses, bacteria, it kills all microbes that are base for every disease that we have. Then the infrasound. Infrasound is below the limit that we can hear. Our planet vibrates at 6 Hertz. The pyramid vibrates at a different frequency, 7 Hertz, so on and so forth. So it seems that somebody made the pyramid as a machine to produce different types of energy. Now we can ask ourselves, okay, what is the source of that energy? Of course, the pyramid cannot just produce from nothing. Well, there are several natural sources. Number one, very important, is the core of our planet, magma. Magma produces magnetic energy. But what the pyramid does, the pyramid sucks that energy and amplifies 50 to 500 times.